Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm gonna be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Was half Viltrumite and half Kryptonian. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode over on the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 of them guys. I even post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was from a demonic clan with OP abilities on this channel. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. And also the movie over Anime Prince. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new so I can reply. And welcome you all. Remember to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post. So without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now guys. So the last time we left off, Orochimaru had failed once again. Yes, he had failed once again in his efforts of merging the DNA of Doomsday with another. It didn't matter how hard he tried. Every time he tried, everything that he did was a failure. He got the serum correctly. He extracted the DNA perfectly, but yet he still somehow failed. And he didn't know why. He was failing and he didn't like that. He was trying to create an army of these powerful warriors that would rule underneath him, but so far he was coming up with zilch, nothing. And he truly hated that with every fiber of his being. He would have to find a way to create this serum so that he could create an army. While Doomsday is powerful, he was only one. Unfortunately, Orochimaru had no idea of what the true intentions or the true powers of Doomsday was. So despite him being powerful, Orochimaru thought that him being only one person would be the downfall. However, he was dead wrong. But he wasn't going to find that out anytime soon, as he continued to experiment. Meanwhile, that was going on at the village, as Naruto came to pick up Mito, as she was currently with her 2 friends, Hinata and also Ino as well. Every time the 2 girls saw Naruto, they got all shy. That was because, well, he was their crush. They had a huge crush on him. He was Mito's older brother, and every time they saw him they just froze up, and there was nothing that either of them could do about it. As Naruto and Mito made their way, it didn't take them long to arrive. The pups had grown up, turned as big as their mother as they fed them. Once that was done, they went to training. Kushina and Minato believed that Mito was not ready to do anything too strenuous and dangerous just yet. She was just 6 years old after all. However, Mito wanted to get as strong as possible, just like her big brother. So she came to him. Naruto was also going to bring up the subject with her, as he wanted to make sure that she was ready for anything out there that she had to face. He wanted to make sure that she was prepared to face the world, as he knew how truly dangerous and terrifying it was. However, her chakra was so large that it was hard to control. Therefore, he started to train her on chakra control. It was easy for him to get classified details from the shinobi section of the library. After all, he was not out of the academy just yet, as he started to train her in these aspects of chakra manipulation, as she was coming along nicely. We then had a little time skip. When they found out that he didn't have any chakra, they had designed a seal for him so that he could use chakra, but they had to be the one to empower it. Naruto still had the memory of applying the seal, so he did. He went out on a little hunt of his, and got a criminal to implant their chakra into the seal, enough for him to use. The Uchiha clan were going to plot a coup. Shisui Uchiha was dead, as Naruto believed that it was Danzo that did it. The man seemed against the idea in the beginning, so he had no doubt that he was behind it. However, the Uchihas, they would not listen and they would not stop. They wanted a coup, and nothing could change their mind at this time. So Naruto had to do what he had to do, which was getting a bomb. As Naruto hovered over the building as he could see them with his X-ray vision, as he looked down below and saw them all gathered, all these people wanted a coup. Naruto flew in the building, shocking all the Uchihas as they snapped into focus, but it was too late. As Naruto flew back out, the bomb went off as Naruto flew around the area so it would not spread, and so it would not discharge and attack the other buildings. All of them were blown to pieces. He then proceeded to fly away. It didn't take too long for Minato and Anvus to arrive on the scene, surveying everything what happened, but they had no leads, and the chakra that was used was someone that was not within this village. As Naruto returned home, that was the fastest he ever pushed himself, as he had contained all the explosive at once by flying around it at intense speed. With that said and done, the next time we see Naruto is at a funeral as he stood there. As Itachi was there, Fukaku was one of the main person that was killed. He was the clan head, leaving his 2 children and wife behind. Remaining Uchihas were there to mourn their dead, but it was the only thing that Naruto had to do. However, now as he saw them crying, he felt guilt. It started to wash over him, but he reminded himself that he had to do that. It was something that needed to be done. Some time passed after that. As Minato himself saw that Naruto was wasting time in the academy, Naruto was the one to bring up the topic, as Minato believed that it was right. So he got Kakashi to take Naruto under his wing, to show him to the world outside of Konoha, as Naruto became an official ninja of the village. One had to do a minimum of 10D ranks before they do any missions outside, as Naruto did all of those within one day, as it was rather easy given the fact that no other Genins had graduated this year. It was easy to be done as Naruto quickly went through all of them. With that said and done, him and Kakashi finally got a mission outside. Kakashi being a family friend, he knew about Naruto, so he did not underestimate him in the slightest. Despite everything, his mother was still worried his sister told him to be safe out there. This was his first mission outside, his first official mission. As Naruto made his way, he knew that while he was with Kakashi, he had to cool things down. He couldn't be as ruthless as he used to be. So he made his way out there with him, as they were on a mission to stop a group of bandits that were terrorizing the Fire Nation. They attacked 2 villages already that Konoha rely on rice and other materials from them, so they ought to be stopped. As Naruto and Kakashi found the group, Naruto using his X-ray vision was able to pinpoint everything and tell Kakashi what was going on in there. Once that was said and done, they quickly planned their strategy. It turns out that there was someone rather famous inside, a Kumo ninja that stole valuable artifacts from his home village and sold them. He was a man that saw that money was the only way to live as a ninja. Money was the thing that got everything moving in this world, and once he had money, he was unstoppable. His name was Ringo, aka the Lightning Thief. Once they were ready, Naruto flew into the camp. He pushed his hand through the tent and grabbed Ringo and threw him. That is when he took on all the bandits that were here. Kakashi went off to fight Ringo, as ninjas from lands like Kumo had no experience fighting in a place like this, where the trees were meant for Konoha ninjas. So they started the fight. While that was going on, Naruto faced off against the guys over here, and they stood absolutely no chance as he demolished them one after another. That is when he collapsed because a green rock, a meteorite, started to cause him pain unlike any other that he ever felt before. One of the guys picked up himself and he was about to deliver the final strike, intending on burying the dagger that he had in Naruto's skull. When Kakashi arrived, he saw Naruto unconscious. The rock no longer caused him too much pain, but he was unconscious though. Naruto's body was still vulnerable to the meteorite right now. The kryptonite was still able to weaken him, but in due time, because of his Viltrumite DNA, he will evolve. He will learn to surpass all of his weaknesses and grow to a higher being. His mother had said that not even she knew the limitations that he will have, because she believed there will be none. However, Kakashi found out some detail after searching Ringo. This goes a bit more deeper than they thought. So yeah guys, so basically let's left off. You guys can switch across the play, check the face episode to begin this new episode. Daybreak just started to rise. as the sun was peeping out over the horizon. Kakashi Hatake was looking down towards his unconscious student as he removed the dagger from his shoulder. He removed the rock from him as well, as he was about to patch Naruto's shoulder up when Naruto's hand snapped out and grabbed his wrists. With such force, Kakashi felt his bones grinding against one another as Naruto held his hand. However, as Naruto started to realize who it was and where he was, the grip force release. As Naruto released him, "What's going on?" he said, as he pulled himself up. "Well, I was just about to patch you up, and you seem well intent on breaking my hand." "Sorry about that," said Naruto, as he was now sitting, looking around. That is when he noticed a body. "What happened?" said Kakashi, as he thought that this would be traumatic on Naruto's young mind. Naruto turned to face the man. "I was fighting them. I was close to defeating them all when something, a rock." Kakashi reached behind him. "You mean this?" Naruto backed away from him. "Yeah, that," he said. "It caused me great pain." "A rock?" Kakashi said, examining the rock, as he noticed that it glowed in the proximity of Naruto. "I've checked in on you and your father sparring before, on several occasions, and even when you two get a bit intense, I've never seen you bleed before," said Kakashi. "That's because I'm durable than most," said Naruto as he got to his feet. "However, that thing, it weakened me to the point I was able to get stabbed," said Naruto as he looked at his shoulder. "What is it?" he asked. "I'm not sure. Some kind of green rock. Almost crystal-like," he said. "We're gonna bring it back to the village to find out. Why does it hurt you?" he said. Naruto nodded as Kakashi put it away. "Is it still affecting you?" Kakashi asked. Naruto stepped forward. "No. It seemed like once it's covered, it can't affect me," said Naruto. "Well, that's good," said Kakashi. "Now let's get you patched up." Kakashi blinked as Naruto's wound vanished right in front of his eyes. Naruto wiped the blood off him. "Seems I heal really fast," said Naruto, as the wound was gone, like it was never there to begin with. "Well, that saved us the trouble," said Kakashi. "Now," he said, "it seems like this mission goes a bit more deeper than I originally thought." "What do you mean?" "I found a few things on Ringo. Not to mention once, I had him pinned. He let a few things slip by accident. It turns out that all of his random act is not just random. It's a ploy to draw someone out, isn't it?" Kakashi blinked as he looked towards Naruto. "How did you..." "I was wondering about that, but I thought I might just be overthinking things. Why would he attack Konoha, rice field shipping area? You said to yourself he's a wanted Kumo ninja. Why would he give himself away? Kumo and Konoha signed a peace treaty in the past to bring no aggression between each other. He would have had to know that if he was captured by us, we would have sent him back to Kumo. He does have a bounty on his head, by the way. After what he did to his own village, why would he risk something like that? These men that he has under his control, they're not strong. They're not strong enough to take on a Jonin. And while Ringo is listed as a A rank, you had no trouble handling him. So I'm guessing that he's not that strong," said Naruto. Kakashi was amazed by Naruto's analytical mind. "So I'm guessing that someone paid him to do all of this. Am I right?" said Naruto. "Exactly," said Kakashi. "However, the thing is, I think this person is in the Fire Country. Not just in the country alone, but in the Fire Daimyo residence," said Kakashi as he pulled out a few papers. "Look at these." As Naruto looked at them, "What am I looking at?" Kakashi pointed. "These are bank accounts, and this is money being deposited into them. The thing is, this document right here, where this money is sent from is within the Fire Daimyo residence. There is no name linking it back to anyone, so the person did this to make sure that their name would not be shown in anything. And even if someone is transferring money out, it would not be suspicious because..." As Naruto finished for Kakashi, "The daimyo is the government. They move a lot of money around." "Exactly," said Kakashi. So I guess this means that we're going to the fire capital to warn them just in case. And to come for all of them, said Naruto as he looked around towards the unconscious ninjas on the ground, not to mention Ringo as well. Time skip. Something was wrong. They noticed that the moment they arrived, as they were stopped by guards who were on high alert. These were the guards of the Fire Daimyo Palace. The guard told them that they were having an emergency. If this has anything to do with what they just discovered, the daimyo might want to talk to them. Moments later, Naruto and Kakashi were brought inside, while the thugs were taken care of by the guards. As they saw people running all around, Naruto noticed that everyone was in a panic. After a good 3 minutes wait, they were allowed inside. The first thing that Naruto noticed was a woman. She was dressed in elegant clothing that seemed to be made out of the most expensive fabric. However, she seemed sad and depressed. She had light brown hair and brown eyes. There was no smile or happiness anywhere near her face. She was sad, deeply so. She was talking to a man who had similar features like her, the hair and the eyes. He was dressed in the noble clothing of the daimyo. The guard made his way up to him and whispered something in his ear. The man turned as he stepped towards them. This man was the leader. He was the daimyo of the fire country. The woman also walked by him. Kakashi Hatake, the daimyo, greeted Kakashi. Kakashi bowed his head in respect, greeting back the man, as Naruto bowed his head as well, in greetings. Naruto simply remained quiet. My guard just informed me that you might know what is going on with the current predicament. Is this about the attacks? Kakashi asked. Attacks? No. It's about my granddaughter, he said. As Naruto noticed that the woman behind him moved slightly. That meant that it was her daughter, but he did not say anything. So she was the daughter of the daimyo. Your granddaughter? Yes. She was kidnapped not too long ago, taken right beneath our noses, while we were indeed investigating all the random attacks, he said. So they are connected. That is what they wanted. What do you mean? The woman said, stepping forward. She didn't introduce herself, but that was not important right now. Kakashi, seeing that the daimyo would like to hear as well, he spoke up. The recent random attacks aren't as random as we thought. It turns out that someone was trying to draw attention, attacking several important factions that would lead you and your council to have numerous discussions about the day-to-day operation within the fire country, such as shipping and more important assets that keep the country afloat. This was all done in a form of distraction that I'm now coming to realize. However, I never knew that it was an attempt to kidnap your granddaughter, he said. So it's all connected, the daimyo said. The woman frowned heavily. She was not pleased in the slightest. She was angry. However, at the moment, she didn't know what to do. How long ago was it? Kakashi asked. I spoke to her no less than 2 hours ago. Her mother spoke up. And since then, the daimyo said, she has not been seen anywhere on the premises. I have already sent out my forces, but I doubt they will reach in time. If this was a planned attack, there is no way that they have not planned for this. Planned for me to send out my forces. And nothing has been sent back for what they want in her safe return. Kakashi did not know how one simple mission turned out to be this disastrous. This was bad. However, there was something that Kakashi would like to talk to the man about, but not here. Sir, there is something I would like to talk to you about. He stepped forward, but I'm afraid we cannot do this in public. Why not? The daimyo said. Brother, a voice called out, cutting Kakashi off before he could say anything else. As Naruto turned towards the voice and saw the man, he had similar features to the daimyo, and considering that he just called him brother, it was clear to see. Have you received any news? The man asked. His clothing also looked rather expensive as well, just the look of the material. Yes, it turns out that all the attacks were planned, and I currently have one of Konoha top ninjas here to tell me something important that might lead to us finding my granddaughter, he said. Naruto heard it. The moment the daimyo said that, his brother's heart skipped a beat, and the template of his heart started to rise. Naruto glanced towards him suspiciously, as the guy showed no nervousness at all. However, the look on his face. Kakashi, on the other hand, didn't want to say what he knew. Given the money transfer towards Ringo's account, someone in here could be the culprit, and he didn't want to say that in front of the daimyo. However, the mother spoke up once again. "What is it that you were going to say?" she said, looking towards Kakashi. "I'm afraid this is something that I must talk to the both of you in private with." "What? There is no time. She's been gone for 2 hours now." The mother was getting irritated. "Everyone here can be trusted." "What is it that you found?" she said. Naruto closed his eyes, as time seemed to slow down as he focused. 2 hours. She's been missing for 2 hours now. However, if someone did take her, it would be hard for them to run at full speed out of the Fire Country in broad daylight. Even when it was a normal day here, the guards are always on high alert. So how could someone sneak in here and kidnap the granddaughter of the daimyo? That made no sense at all, Naruto thought to himself. He blocked out the sounds that he didn't want to hear, as everything was quiet, as he started to focus more outwards, extending his senses even further than before. That is when he heard muffling. Someone sounded like their mouth was covered. His eyes snapped open before Kakashi could respond, as Naruto flew upwards, surprising the people, the guards, snapping their attention towards him. He then flew right through the window, breaking it on his descent. Naruto was now in mid-air, as his eyes activated as he started to scan through the capital. Washing over everything, Naruto saw an underground chamber that was secluded away from any of the palace. It was deep underground. No one would have ever thought that someone was underneath there. As Naruto focused before, he plunged straight down. With a violent punch, Naruto tore right through the earth, bursting through as he went deep underground. He arrived towards a metal compartment that blocked him from getting inside. Meanwhile, on the inside, the girl was tied up on the ground. There was a gag in her mouth, as she could not say anything. Only muffled words came out. There was one man sitting there in a chair, as he was basically not paying attention to her. There was one man on the door outside. There was an underground tunnel that led to a far location. This was planned. There was a reason why they were keeping her here. All of this. And there were 2 more men on the opposite end making their way. 4 in total. The man that was in the chair snapped his gaze up when he heard the ceiling rock. A look of fright flashed across his face because they were deep underground. Either that was an earthquake or someone had found them. Before he could ponder on anything though, a hand burst right through the thick metal, tearing right through it. The hand then pried open as someone dropped inside. The girl's eyes widened as she saw a boy who seemed to be her age, ripping metal apart with her bare hands. As he landed, the guy on the chair quickly got to his feet as he scampered forward, kunai in hand, ready to impale Naruto. Naruto turned and met his gaze. He slapped his hand away. There was a cracking sound as Naruto broke the guy's wrist with simply slapping his hand. He then gripped him by the throat before he pulled back and threw him. He burst right through the door, knocking the other guard down as well. He turned back towards the girl. "I'll be right back." He then flew, as the other guard had been knocked out. As Naruto arrived, the 2 guards stopped in their tracks. "What the hell? What the hell is a kid doing down here?" one of them asked. "It doesn't matter, stop him before he blows everything," the second one said as he rushed forward, kunai in hand. He tried to stab Naruto, who simply tilted his head before grabbing his wrist and snapped it. He then pulled the guy forward before he slammed his forehead right in the guy's face, completely shattering his nose as his forehead started to bleed as well, including his nose. Naruto grabbed him by the throat as the last one was shocked to see his partner so easily taken down. He tried to move, however Naruto took in a deep breath and then blew. He was sent sailing as he slammed against the wall, as Naruto flew towards him and stopped in front of him. The guy tried to pick himself up, however Naruto placed his hand down on his chest and started to apply force, causing the wall behind him to break inwards. as his back was pushed into it. He started to scream out as Naruto was applying so much pressure to his chest. As he started to feel pain racked his entire torso. "Who are you working for?" said Naruto. He coughed up blood. "Tell me, and you might just live," said Naruto. However, he spat as he cursed angrily. He would not be intimidated by a kid. That is when Naruto's eyes started to glow red. His heat vision then blasted out, destroying the wall behind him, also nicking the side of his face, causing to bleed. The guy started to sweat as his life flashed right in front of him. The next one go through your head. The four of them had been close to working with Ringo. They were stronger than all the other normal thugs. That is why they were personally chosen to guard the girl. This was all a big scheme that had been plotted for a very long time now. While he did not know much, Ringo, he said, giving up his boss' name, hoping that he could at least survive and run away. "Not good enough," said Naruto. "We already captured your boss." Hearing that, he started to panic as Naruto's eyes started to glow once more. "I guess this means you're gonna die." "No, wait!" he begged. I saw him once. Our boss was having a meeting with him, and I saw him. I don't know his name, but he was the one that gave us information. He was the one that allowed us inside. He didn't want her to be too far away, so when he does enact his plan, he can use her." The man said with complete fright written all over his face as he was trembling. "And if I were to show you this person, you can tell me that it was him, right?" Yes, just please don't kill me," he begged. Moments later, Naruto walked back towards the cavern, only to see the girl untied, as she was rubbing her wrist. "Took you long enough," she said. Naruto blinked in confusion. "How did you..." As he then noticed a piece of shrapnel from the iron ceiling that he ripped open. It had fell when he had dropped down. "She used it to cut herself free." Resourceful. "You know, I did came here to save you," said Naruto. "Yes, but you took your sweet time doing so, didn't you?" she said. "I suppose my grandfather sent you to find me." "I'm surprised he would send a child though." "A child? You don't even look that older than me," said Naruto. As he looked at her fully, she had brown hair like her mother. However, she had blue eyes. Ocean clear blue eyes. As she rubbed her wrists, "I would have escaped eventually. Those guys were complete buffoons. Eventually, I would have escaped. I'm sure that you know, but I'm a very important individual, and this is not the first time that my life has been threatened. It has been on multiple occasions." He noticed the way that she talked, the way that she reacted as he realized something. "It's okay," he said. "What?" she said, looking towards him. "I have a thing for reading people, and I can tell that you are really scared." Before she could say anything, Naruto spoke up. "I presume unlike the other times that you were threatened, no one has ever reached this far. No one has ever taken you before, and I'm sure that you were afraid." Hearing that, she paused. As she turned her gaze to meet him, their eyes locking together as she looked at him. No words came from her mouth. "But it's alright now because I am here," said Naruto. She sniffled a bit as she crossed her arms. "I wasn't scared," she yelled. "I'm not some kind of baby. I can take care of myself. I'm a big girl. I'm a woman," she said. As Naruto chuckled. "Why are you laughing?" she said to him, sounding quite angry. "Well then, woman," said Naruto. "Why don't you go ahead and leave?" "I will," she said as she turned. She then glanced up towards the top. As she looked around, as she then noticed something as she made her way and started to stack all the things that she found together. "You're gonna hurt yourself," said Naruto. "Be quiet," she said as she started to stack them on one another. Before, she started to climb up, until she slipped. Her eyes widened, however she was caught, as Naruto was holding her bridal style. She looked at him, before she averted her gaze. "I could have done that," she said. "Yes, but you still fell, didn't you? By the way, what's your name? If you must call me something, call me Lucy," she said. She then realized something. We're We're flying. Yeah, said Naruto. How are we? How are you? She looked at him confused. Who are you? She asked, sounding more intrigued. Not that she wasn't from the beginning. He had ripped the metal open with his bare hands. She saw it. I am Naruto. Naruto Namikaze, he said. Namikaze? Wait, you are... Moments later, Naruto descended. As he placed the girl down, all of the guards were there, Kakashi looking towards him, the daimyo, his brother, and his daughter was there as well. As Lucy was placed down on the ground, Mom? Grandpa? Her mother rushed over towards her and hugged her with all of her might, squeezing onto her tightly. As the daimyo was standing there with a happy smile on his face. However, before they could say anything to Naruto though, he once again flew off at blinding speeds. This time he returned a lot faster with a trembling man that he was holding. Naruto dropped the man. Who is he? Kakashi said. Turns out that he was one of the 4 that was sent to capture Lucy over there. They were told to keep her here because of all the security. They wanted to waste no chance of getting caught. So they kept her here. And not to mention, the person that did this didn't want her to get hurt, because they wanted to use her in the future for her political gain and her background, said Naruto. What are you talking about, lad? Asked Daimyo, looking towards the boy that had saved his granddaughter. He was going to thank him personally, but he wanted to know what he was talking about. Lucy's mother hugged onto her child as she was looking towards the boy that was talking. She was also grateful towards him. I'm not sure of their overall plan, but this individual wanted to use the capturing of your granddaughter against you, Daimyo-sama, said Naruto, to strip you of your powers and maybe eventually kill you. I'm not surprised. I have many enemies because of my position. Do you perhaps have any information on who it is? Well, you don't have to go far to find this assailant, said Naruto. The moment you arrived, I felt something weird about you. I knew that you were just off. I couldn't pinpoint it though. I mean, out of all the people, that you would go that far to hurt your own family. I can never understand how could someone hurt their own family. As Naruto was talking, but he wasn't looking at anyone, Kakashi's eye was already focusing on the assailant, as he figured out as well. The way Naruto was talking, the way his body gestured, despite not looking, his body language tell a whole lot. Naruto turned towards the shivering man that was standing there. I don't really think I do have to ask, but just to be 1000%, it's him, right? The man nodded his head. The daimyo turned in shock. Brother, he said, this is preposterous. How dare you place these implications on me? Do you know the actions that will befall you because of your lying tongue, he said, anger radiating off him. Naruto sighed, before he sped forward and grabbed the guy by his throat. He then proceeded to slam him right in the wall. He cried out in pain from the unnatural force of him slamming against the wall. As a ninja of Konoha, it's also our duty to protect the daimyo from any harm that might come his way. And right now, you are the harm that is in his way. Naruto, stop, Kakashi said. As Naruto looked right into the guy's eyes, his eyes started to glow crimson. It's not like you're gonna confess the truth, right? Said Naruto. So it's better off if I burn you alive. The guy was trembling in fear. No, stop. He begged. He didn't want to die. Why should I? For you to use your money to buy your way out. You're a very rich, influential man after all, said Naruto, his eyes glowing once again. You can probably have people sneak you out of here before you even get put on trial for what you did. However, killing you is the best option, so you'll just be dead. No, wait! I did it, he said, as he raised his hands in defense, trembling, as Naruto's grip had been tightening around him. I did it. As he then glanced over when he noticed looks on his family faces. Grand-uncle? Lucy said. This was never about you, he said. This was all about him. That position was mine. I've suffered in silence for years now. All he had to do was vacate the seat and allow me to take my rightful position as the leader. But time after time again, he still refused. It was mine, I deserved it. I was never going to kill you, Lucy, he said. My orders were to keep you here. I knew if they took you out of the nation, they would never hand you back over to me because of who you're related to. So that is why I made them keep you here, even though it was a risk to even keep you anywhere close. A risk I was willing to take. You would have been a huge beneficial part of my plans in the future. Don't talk to her, her mother shouted at him as Naruto released the guy, allowing him to drop to the ground. Take him away. Take him away, Daimyo said as his guards came, as they shackled him. As Naruto smirked to himself, his ploy worked. He knew that the guy would spill his guts. People like that rather live than die. When they were so influential, so written with cash all over. He guessed he learned these instincts from his nightly activities. He's seen this on multiple occasions, but he never let his victims live. After all, they were scum. And if it was up to him, he would have snapped his neck or burned his eyeballs out immediately. As for Kakashi, he was shocked. He realized that Naruto was not going to kill him when he saw Naruto had shown him the signal for peace. As he wondered where the hell did Naruto learn Envo code talking, using hand signs. That is why Kakashi had not intervened, and Naruto played his part perfectly. As Naruto turned back towards the family, time skip. It turns out that the daimyo's brother had used someone within the palace for the transfer to frame them if anything were to be linked back. That is why he didn't use an offshore account or anything else. Someone in the palace was used. Yes, someone that would gain just as much if the daimyo would have stepped down. And that was a first cousin, who was also very influential. The man had been planning this for a very long time. He was always jealous of his brother, feeling like he did not fit to rule. However, he didn't want anything to happen to his grandniece, but he was going to use the power that she would obtain after the daimyo's death. And he would also have to get rid of her mother as well, because she would have stood in his way. There was so much that he was going to do, but all of that was stopped by none other than Naruto. Naruto has been placed in high regards by the daimyo of the Fire Country. His first mission leading to such a success. Not to mention, he was in well high regards from Kimiko as well. That was the mother of Lucy. He learned her name not too later after that, as he was praised by the both of them. The daimyo even offered him a position in his personal ranks. However, Naruto had to decline, saying that he had not reached anywhere far in his ninja career to quit just now. This position was not offered to anyone. This was a special honor that Naruto had received. The daimyo had saw great promise in him, as he knew that Naruto was going to be something special. Not to mention, he was one of the children of Minato Namikaze, someone that the daimyo knew personally, as they had meetings on future discussions. It was time to leave now, to return back home. But before that though, as Naruto landed on top of the roof, she had crawled through her window. The chance of her getting kidnapped now was small, considering the fact that there were guards everywhere, but they weren't invading, so that she could feel safe, but also knew that she could have a breather. Lucy looked over towards him. She had a rather strong, feisty attitude. However, she was also a kind, caring person as well. "Are you okay?" Naruto asked, as he was standing beside her. She glanced up towards him. "I just still can't believe that my grand-uncle was behind all of this. It just goes to show that people can keep a lot away from others, even their own family." Upon her saying that, Naruto felt a ping in his heart. The things that he had to do, the things that he had done because of his family, to keep them safe, that he told himself, slaughtering a great portion of the Uchihas. As Naruto felt it upon her saying that. "Are you okay?" she asked. No, she was asking about him. Yeah, I'm fine, said Naruto as he sat down. Thank you, she said. Huh? Said Naruto. I... Not sure if I said it, but... Thanks for saving me. Well, it took you long enough, said Naruto. She turned and gave him a small glare. What? It's the same thing that you said to me, Naruto said. I suppose you're right. But I did not mean much by it. I'm not a bad person. Get that through your thick head, okay? You know when you say something like that and then call me a thick head, that don't make you seem pretty nice. Well, I do have a reputation to uphold, she said. But you have done a great service by saving me, and for that, I thank you. Naruto Namikaze, she said. That sounds a bit too formal, said Naruto. Let's just call each other by our first names. We can just be friends. Friends? You want to be my friend? Why are you so surprised, Naruto asks. Don't you have friends? Of course I do, she said, looking away. I'm not sure, she said, calming down a bit. What do you mean? Well, the concept of friends is rather strange. I mean, what's a friend? Someone that you can rely on. Someone that can watch your back. Someone that can help you in weak situations that you're in. Well then, I guess I don't have any friends. Really? I do have acquaintances. People that I speak to my own age, but I'm not sure those are what you call friends, given the way that you describe them. Well, that's a bummer, said Naruto. So you're here all the time by yourself, without any friends? I do have people to talk to, but as I say, I don't believe that we're that close to be called friends. I might be young, but I am in a very high position, so it's hard to make friends, as you say. Well, said Naruto, I'll be your friend, he said. You will? Does that mean you will visit me again? I don't see why not. As long as you're nice to me. Well, it's not hard being nice to a stupid person. They won't know if you're nice or not. Naruto eye twitched at that, as she giggled into her hands. Don't worry, she said. I'll try to be much nicer. But friends do tease each other, do they not? Yes, they do. I didn't think that you would be smart enough to understand, said Naruto. Amusing, she said, without a smile on her face. Fine. Fear shot. I was the one that shot first. Well then, Naruto Namikaze. Until I see you again. Yes. Until I see you again, Lucy. Alright, Naruto, she said, as Naruto took off as she watched him. She heard something as she turned to see her mother, right at the windowsill that she used to crawl out and get on the roof. Mom? How long have you been there? Long enough, Kimiko said, as she had this look on her face. What's with that look? Her mother simply giggled in her hand, just like how Lucia did before. Mother, what's with that look, she asked as she made her way inside. Time skip. Both Kakashi and Minato sat in the office talking amongst one another, as Minato would have never expected that his son would have done so much on his first mission. He was home right now, spending time with Kushina and Mito. However, Kakashi was shocked. Kakashi had met many geniuses in his life before. However, Naruto was showing to be beyond the rest. Not just with his abilities, but with his way of thinking. Kakashi was always bummed out to be a Jonin sensei because he didn't want to teach a bunch of kids that did not know things. Yes, he didn't have time for that. He just loved to relax and read his book. But with Naruto, he felt like he was with another Jonin sensei that already understand everything. Kakashi was grateful for that. However, there was something else to discuss. What are we gonna do about the green rock? After a couple of hours of testing, it turns out that is an element that none of the scientific or analysis department has ever seen before. I'm not sure, they're not sure either why it caused Naruto physical pain, but they're still doing their research. I'm worried because I don't know if there's more than one. And when this thing is close to Naruto as you told me, it completely immobilized him. Kakashi also looked worried as well, as neither of them knew what kind of material it was, or what it even was and why can it hurt Naruto. However, given where Naruto come from, it would be safe to say that weird things can be his weaknesses. Not to mention of his abnormal strength and speed and reflex and everything that he possesses. Something abnormal alone would be able to hurt him. Time skip. Orochimaru stood in the monitor room as he watched the green gas bathe over the monster, known as Doomsday. However, as he looked at the time, Doomsday collapsed though and reverted back to normal eventually, but the problem was it was taking longer. The gas was getting weaker and weaker. His body was adapting. Orochimaru wanted to find a solution for this, because if the boy does become a problem in the future, he needs to have a way to stop him. Otherwise, this wouldn't just be bad for his enemies alone, but also bad for him as well. With the other personality that the boy has, the boy was completely indebted to him. He think of Orochimaru like his own father. However, when he transformed, his retention of his memories and control over his actions were completely gone. So that was bad. Time skip. Naruto watched as he saw his sister, along with Ino, Hinata, and a new girl, known as Sakura Haruno, went down the slide. This was no ordinary slide though. It was made completely out of ice. Naruto had froze the river that they had found, and allowed them to went down it. They were kids. It was amazingly fun for them. They had been spending a lot of time at school lately, so having some time to blow off certain responsibilities was always amazing. As they went down the slide, the new girl was also opening up. She was extremely shy at first, even much more so than Hinata. She didn't even want to speak, but she was opening up a lot. As Naruto watched them had fun, every time he saw his sister smile and other kids be happy, this is why he reminded himself why he did what he did. To keep people like this safe, to make sure that they were always safe. Not to mention he had a new friend outside the village, Lucy. She was extremely nice. Despite acting feisty most of the time, she became a good friend to him. Unlike other people, Naruto could fly, so he could visit her on occasions. Even when he's not supposed to be there, he can visit her on the roof by simply flying overhead and touching down. He's seen her on multiple occasions by now, and she was a really good friend to him. However, he still did not stop his nightly activities. In fact, he increased them. Yes, he increased them. People like, well, the people that took Lucy were still out there. People like those that deserve punishment for their actions. A part of his mind was telling him just to go to the prison and eradicate all of the prisoners there. However, that would draw too much attention. Getting rid of some high-level thugs or bandits, erasing them off the face of the earth, did not draw much attention because they were just gone. However, going to a place like that would draw too much on himself. So he stayed away from that train of thought. For now. Time skip. Danzo Shamura just barked out some orders toward his subordinates as they flashed away into the darkness, going to complete their actions that were told to them. Danzo was not pleased. Up to this day, he still did not know who had eradicated the Uchiha clan. Itachi was not here. Yes, so he was out of it. The Hokage would not make a move like that. And it was not Danzo. He knew that because he was Danzo, of course. Despite how twisted he was, he knew that he didn't have a second personality that took over his mind. Wait, what the hell was he thinking? As he started to focus, the thing was, he wanted the Uchiha eyes, but he could not get his hands on them. The only eyes that he had, well, was Shisui. And that wasn't enough. He wanted more, because he wanted something to be done experimentally. However, he failed to get the eyes because the bodies were destroyed. That was problematic for him. There were other Uchihas. They were kids. However, they were young and they didn't have the Sharingan. Not to mention Danzo was upset. He had an idea. He wanted to further eliminate the future threat, and that was their parents. To eliminate all the adults. That was force the kids to grow up in a harsh hate in their hearts and awaken those eyes that he needed. This was just a plan that was popping up in his head. There was other means of doing so, but that means kidnapping the Uchihas. At least kidnapping one of them, but with the clan so small right now, and given how long the procedure would take, everything was coming up bad. Danzo felt something strange. His root ninjas did as well. Immediately, 4 root ninjas appear. His underground place was large. There was bridges running from each side. The center was a massive podium where his chair was. As Danzo saw the ground beneath him shaking, he could see everything shaking up before it ripped open. Someone bursting out of it, clad in a strange suit. Danzo was confused. As the person landed on one of the bridges, he could not see the individual face. "Who are you?" said Danzo. As the person walked forward, his root ninjas drawing their blades. His 2 bodyguard root ninjas stayed behind him ready, just in case. Those were his 2 personal guards. As the other 4 was in front of him, they were boxing him in to make sure that no one get to him. "Who am I?" the person said. Danzo had heard that voice before. Oh, that's simple. The person finally stepped into the light. Danzo was shocked more than ever before. "You?" Standing there was none other than Naruto Namikaze in all of his might. However, his super clothing was on, as he was fully decked out in it. He stepped forward. "Namikaze." "How are you here?" Danzo said, not understanding. "You know, Danzo," said Naruto, talking rather casually, "you're a really easy man to spy on, even though you believe that you're so secretive and twisted, complicated. Well, that's what you believe. But let me tell you something. Hands off the Uchihas. They have suffered enough." Danzo blinked. "What are you talking about?" "As I said, you're an easy man to spy on. The Uchihas have suffered enough. I'm telling you right now to back down. Listen, child, I don't know what you're talking about, or what is it that you're trying to do, but hear me when I say." Before Danzo could finish his sentence, Naruto's hand was through the back of one of Danzo's root agent. He ripped his hand out before throwing the guy off. The other one to his left brought down his blade as Naruto punched it. The blade shattered. He then gripped the guy by his head and squashed it. The other 2 jumped forward. Naruto raised his hand and sliced, tearing through the first one's guts. He then grabbed onto his intestines and wrapped it around the other one's neck before he pulled, snapping the guy's head back and threw them off. His hands were now bloody as blood flashed across his face. Danzo was baffled. All of that happened in a mere few seconds. This was not what he would have ever expected in a million years. Now, am I getting my point across? I know what you're planning. I know that you intend to make a move against them, but as I said before, Naruto stepped and cracked the ground. They've suffered enough. Go after them, and I'll kill every single one here, and then I'll rip off your head. Do you understand me?" Fu, one of Danzo's main bodyguard, tried to enter Naruto's mind, and he was successful. "Torun," Danzo said, as his other bodyguard stepped forward. However, Naruto gripped the side of his head as his body was slumped. "Get out of my head!" he yelled. The sound vibration shook Danzo's lair and the entire platform that they were on. Danzo had to step back away. "I said, get out!" Naruto yelled. Fu was blasted back as Naruto's mind was incredibly powerful, able to withstand even someone like Fu, who was a Yamanaka, from taking over it. However, Naruto has never had a mental battle before, so it caught him off guard enough for Torun to grab his hand. He grabbed onto both of Naruto's hands before jumping back. Danzo then looked at Naruto, who looked at his hands strangely. There were strange purple markings that started to take over his entire hands. Now, before you make another step, you should know what is currently happening to you. That purple spot that is spreading over your hands is a fast-acting poison, and I am the only one that has a cure for it. So, you are going to, before Danzo could finish, Naruto Heat Vision activate as he burned his hands. Danzo was shocked as he watched the laser leave the boy's eyes and burn his own hands. Torun was shocked as well as Naruto had destroyed all of his Renkaishu bugs. They were spreading their influence over his body while they tried to. However, the process should not take so long as Naruto was not even showing any discomfort. However, they were under the implications that Naruto's body was normal like theirs. A moment later, Naruto's hands healed, like it was never even touched. You were saying? Naruto asked. Fu and Torun dragged their blades out. Danzo raised a hand. I suppose that this uninvited guest appearance down here is not for nothing. So tell me, boy, what exactly do you plan to get out of this? Is it my death? Danzo asks. You know, you jump too quickly to assumptions. You know, Danzo, even though I know that you're a decrepit, cruel, wicked old man, I understand you. Danzo said nothing. This, said Naruto as he looked at the bodies, was just a warning to tell you not to go after the Uchihas. They have suffered enough. And I'm not going to tell you how I know anything, but as I said, I understand you. You're a man that seeks the greatness of Konoha by any means necessary. That is why you send your root ninjas on such dangerous missions. Missions that Konoha ninjas couldn't even dream of doing because of how vile and disturbing they are. That is the reason why you live. If you weren't serving this village at your fullest, I would have ripped your head off cleanly, said Naruto. But as I said, you are doing great work. And that is why you still live, said Naruto. In the future, the village is going to need someone like you. Someone that will make the tough choices, while still being remained within the shadow. The things that you do help this village, and I'm not going to come into the way of that. After all, anything that stands against this village should be destroyed, said Naruto as he turned his back. You're so confident in revealing this much. Why do you think I won't go to your father about this? Danzo asks. Oh, I know you won't, said Naruto. Otherwise, you will have to explain everything I know about you. Things that would lead to your immediate death. Things that you have done. That what I see as a way to protect Konoha is also treasonous and will get you immediately executed. That is why I'm not afraid for you to see who I am. That is why I came to you personally, for you to understand what you should do and what you should not do. Do you think you can give me orders? Danzo said. Well, I'm not standing in your way, said Naruto. All you must know is, don't try to cross me, otherwise it won't be good, said Naruto. As he started to walk, tell me, boy, said Danzo. It was you, wasn't it? You were the one that killed the Uchihas. As Naruto looked towards him, I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, and you? Enter my mind again, said Naruto as he looked towards Fu. And I'll kill you. As he walked away, he then proceeded to jump off and dive straight down, flying right through the ground once again. Danzo had a lot on his mind. He was shocked by that display. However, he turned towards Fu. Why weren't you able to take control of his body? I've never met someone with such a powerful willpower. His mind was physically fighting against me, and I could not stay in there for too long. I'm not surprised, given what the boy has already shown me so far. It seems I've underestimated you. Naruto Namikaze, Danzo thought. Meanwhile, as Naruto lay in his bed, he was back in his regular clothing, all cleaned up. As he felt like it was about time that he revealed himself to Danzo, the man was plotting to make a move against the Uchihas, and Naruto couldn't allow that. These Uchihas deserve to live and revitalize their clan, so he had to cut it right at the source, which was Danzo. However, he doubted that the man would reveal anything. After all, he did not reveal how he knew things about the man, but he knew a lot. Danzo was a very cautious person, and the things that Naruto knew, which Danzo knew that he knew, after all, how did he find him? Would certainly get him executed within a second. There was a lot of things that he did, horrible, twisted things. Some of them not even for the betterment of Konoha, but his own gain. Some things that he did to this own village, clan children. The only reason why Naruto was letting those slide was because Danzo was still beneficial to this village. Otherwise, he would have killed him right there and then. Once he collected his thoughts, he was sure that Danzo would come to have a little chat with him soon enough. But for now, it was time that he get some rest. The Chunin exams are coming up very soon, and they were going to take place in Kumo, and his father wanted him to attend, and he was looking forward to them. As Naruto drifted off, he was unaware that Danzo was the one in the beginning that sent those guys after him. If he had known, Danzo would not be breathing right now. But perhaps he will find out, and if he does, well, you guys will have to wait and see, because I'm gonna be in this episode right here. For one things person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share with all of your friends and social media platform. But for now, see you guys soon. Peace.